This video illustrates some very basic steps to check if the controller is communicating to Garmin GPS. First thing you need to do is hit the escape key twice to get back to the main screen, and then from the main screen select 08 and then hit the plus sign 3 times, 1, 2, 3. You'll arrive to the GPS status screen. The first thing you need to note is if the satellite is found by the controller, and sometimes you'll see that the controller time is frozen. In this case you can see it's counting up, but if it's frozen, this found satellite doesn't mean anything. Probably the time that you have here, if it's frozen, is the last time it actually communicated to the antenna. So make sure when it says found satellite, it's also counting up the time. Anyways, if you have problems with the satellite being the controller is not communicating to the GPS antenna, first thing you might want to do is to look in the back of the 7A board. The serial cable is plugged in. Since it's only receiving signal and not transmitting signal, your RX light should be pulsating as shown. If this light is not on, that means you're not electrically connected. We want to look at the harness, make sure it's connected and seated properly. So you can see the light just went off when I actually pulled the cable off the antenna. So if it is electrically connected, the serial cable is electrically connected, you would see that light come back on. The other thing you might want to look at is the baud rate. So if the baud rate is different and it's not the baud rate you've selected on the controller program is not compatible with the model of Garmin GPS you're using, your LED light still would show receive. But if you look at your controller GPS status screen, probably your time will not be working. So let me show you, just demonstrate a little bit. So on 5.4 you'll see the GPS threshold and the D4 daylight saving mode, and the zone is Pacific UTC -8. If I go back to the serial port 2 and I change the baud rate to something else like 4800, enter and then escape, I go back to the GPS status screen, see the time is frozen, and I turn off the power just to demonstrate. Controller is rebooting. I'm going to go back to 08 screen, and you see this is how it will show if it has never communicated to the Garmin GPS upon controller boot up. So back of the controller, you can see the RX light is still on, which means that the serial cable and the Garmin GPS is electrically connected. However, the model of GPS in use and the baud rate set is not compatible, so I'm going to go back to A and then 2, and then go down to the baud rate and change that to 38,400, enter escape, go back to my GPS status screen, and it's found satellite and it's counting down or counting up.